Welcome to a journey through the evolution of Grand Theft Auto, as we explore the various games in the series and their impact on the gaming world. Let's start with the original Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto began development as a game titled Race and Chase, in which the player controlled a police officer pursuing criminals. However, the game was considered dull, and the concept of playing as a criminal was adopted. The development team worked to ensure that the player would have the freedom to play however they intend. Grand Theft Auto created a great deal of controversy even before its launch due to its violent content, with discussions taking place in the British House of Lords about banning its sale. The game's marketing campaign, organised by publicist Max Clifford, exploited this stirring of controversy as free promotion. Grand Theft Auto was met with mixed reviews upon release, but was a commercial success, while the graphics and controls were criticised. The entertainment value, sound design and freedom of the gameplay were praised. Over time, it has been recognised as one of the greatest video games, to expansions taking place in 1960s England. Grand Theft Auto London 1969 and Grand Theft Auto London 1961 were launched in 1999. The success of Grand Theft Auto spawned a series of games, which built upon the original's gameplay and themes. The Grand Theft Auto series has since become one of the most popular and best-selling video game franchises of all time. The first sequel in the series, Grand Theft Auto 2, was released in October 1999. Grand Theft Auto is made up of 6 levels, split between 3 main cities. Each locale is based on a real-life city in the United States, with an alternative name: Liberty City, New York City, San Andreas, San Francisco, and Vice City, Miami. The progression is linear, as each level completed automatically unlocks the next one in the chain. Players begin a game choosing a character from among 84 in the PlayStation version, and naming them, though the choice is purely aesthetic, and does not affect the overall gameplay. In each level, the player's ultimate objective is to reach a target number of points, which starts at $1 million, but becomes higher in the later levels, and then reach the level's goal to complete the stage. The player is free to do whatever they want, but have limited lives upon doing so. Points can be gained from anything, such as causing death and destruction amid the traffic in the city, completing special challenges, or stealing and selling cars for profit. However, the more typical means to achieve their targets is to perform tasks for the level's local crime syndicate. Jobs can be initiated by visiting, touching a ringing telephone box. With each level's set of jobs on offer being unique, jobs can be completed in any order, and each has some level of freedom to how it is successfully completed, though destinations in each are fixed. Successful completion of a job awards the player points, unlocks harder missions with greater rewards, and provides a multiplier, a bonus that increases the value of points earned from completing jobs and actions. Failing a job by not completing objectives, being arrested or dying, secures no points and can seal off other tasks in the chain. Players can find equipment across the level's map to help them with jobs and making points, including weapons and body armor, the latter increasing the player's survival against attacks from enemies. If the player is killed, referred to in the game as wasted, they lose a life, lose all their current equipment, and have their multiplier bonus reset. Losing all their lives will result in players having to restart a level. Law enforcement is present in each level, and committing criminal actions will cause the player to raise their notoriety with police. The higher the level, the tougher the response. If the player is arrested, they forfeit all equipment and have their multiplier bonus halved. PC versions of the game were released with networked multiplayer gameplay using the IPX protocol. Fast forward to 1999. Grand Theft Auto Mission Pack No. 1, London 1969, is an expansion pack for the 1997 action-adventure game Grand Theft Auto. Developed by Rockstar Canada and published by Rockstar Games, it was released for personal computers, MS-DOS and Windows and the PlayStation in April 1999. The expansion adheres to the same gameplay mechanics of the main game and takes place in a fictionalized version of London during the 1960s. Players assume the role of a criminal who works for several London-based crime syndicates and complete levels by achieving a set score within an open-world environment that allows them to do whatever they wish alongside jobs to achieve their goal. The expansion pack was met with mixed reviews. It won the 1999 BAFTA Interactive Entertainment Award in the Sound category. A second freeware expansion, Grand Theft Auto Mission Pack No. 2, London 1961, was released for personal computers in July 1999 to coincide with the release of the Grand Theft Auto games on the internet. It is much shorter in length and features the same map and characters as London 1969, but takes place 8 years prior. Going back in time to 1961, we have Grand Theft Auto, London 1961. Official title Grand Theft Auto Mission Pack No. 2, London 1961. Often shortened to GTA London 61, or simply GTA London, is the third installment of the Grand Theft Auto franchise. GTA London 1961 is the second of the Grand Theft Auto London games, which were two expansion packs to the original Grand Theft Auto game. GTA London 1961 requires both the original game and the first expansion pack, Grand Theft Auto London 1969, to be installed to play. Just like the first mission pack, GTA London 1961 uses the same game engine as the original Grand Theft Auto. The game takes place in London, United Kingdom in 1961, 8 years before the events of GTA London 1969, acting as a prequel to that game's events. The mission pack, as implied, includes new missions, 22 new vehicles, 1 new cutscene, and a new multiplayer deathmatch map based upon the UK city of Manchester, while GTA London 1969 is available for multiple systems. GTA London 1961 is only available for PC as downloadable freeware as 7 megabytes executable file. However, it requires the user to have both Grand Theft Auto and GTA London 1969. Grand Theft Auto London 1961 is similar to Grand Theft Auto 1997 gameplay since it is a prequel to Grand Theft Auto London 1969. 61 is virtually identical in gameplay to the first expansion pack, and therefore by extension similar to the gameplay of the original game also. However, GTA London 1961 does have some notable new features, such as the first appearance of Drive by shooting in the GTA franchise. This can be performed using all 4 weapons available in game. The bomb-fitting garages of GTA and London 1969 are replaced with the armor shop where your vehicle can be heavily armored and made much harder to destroy. GTA London 1961 also features 22 new vehicles that were added by the second expansion pack. These evidently included vehicle designs which were originally meant to be included in GTA London 1969. Since the real-life equivalent vehicles, many of the 1961 vehicles are based on models that did not exist in 1961. That did exist in 1969, and therefore many of the new 1961 vehicles are anachronistic to the 1961 setting. Fast forward to the 30th of September 1999, here comes Grand Theft Auto 2. Grand Theft Auto 2 is an action-adventure game, developed by DMA Design and published by Rockstar Games in October 1999. for Microsoft Windows and the PlayStation, and the Dreamcast and Game Boy Color in 2000. It is the sequel to 1997's Grand Theft Auto, and the second main installment of the Grand Theft Auto series, set within a retrofuturistic metropolis known as Anywhere City. The game focuses on players taking the role of a criminal as they roam an open world, conducting jobs for various crime syndicates and having free reign to do whatever they wish to achieve their goal. The game's intro is unique for a title in the series, as it involved live-action scenes filmed by Rockstar Games. Grand Theft Auto to receive mixed reviews for most platforms, and negative reviews for the Game Boy Color, but was a moderate commercial success. While the soundtrack and some gameplay elements, such as the gang royalty system, were praised, the graphics, controls, and setting received a more mixed game response. The game was also criticized for failing to innovate the formula established by its predecessor. Despite several improvements it brought, Grand Theft Auto 2 was followed by 2001's Grand Theft Auto 3, which started a new era for the series. While the game itself was re-released on Steam in January 2008, like its predecessor Grand Theft Auto, the game focuses on players completing a series of levels, each requiring a set target score being achieved in order to progress to the next step. Up next, the big step up in the Grand Theft Auto franchise is GTA 3, the first GTA to the 3D universe and the grandfather of open-world crime games. Grand Theft Auto 3 is a 2001 action-adventure game developed by DMA Design and published by Rockstar Games. It is the third main entry in the Grand Theft Auto series, following 1999's Grand Theft Auto 2, and the fifth installment overall, set within the fictional Liberty City, loosely based on New York City. The story follows Claude, a silent protagonist who, after being betrayed and left for dead by his girlfriend during the robbery, embarks on a quest for revenge that leads him to become entangled in a world of crime, drugs, gang warfare, and corruption. The game is played from third-person perspective, and its world is navigated on foot or by vehicle. Its open-world design lets players freely roam Liberty City, consisting of three main areas. Development was shared between DMA Design, based in Edinburgh, and Rockstar, based in New York City. Much of the development involved transforming popular elements from the Grand Theft Auto series into a fully 3D world for the first time. The game was delayed following the September 11th attacks to allow the team to change references and gameplay deemed inappropriate. Grand Theft Auto 3 was released in October 2001 for the PlayStation 2, in May 2000 for Windows, and in October 2003 for the Xbox. Grand Theft Auto 3 received critical acclaim, with particular praise directed at its concept and gameplay. However, it also generated controversy, with criticism directed at its depictions of violence and sex. It became the best-selling video game of 2001 and sold over 14.5 million copies by March 2008. Considered by many critics as one of the most significant titles of the sixth generation of video games and a landmark game in the open-world concept, it is often listed among the greatest video games. It won several year-end accolades, including Game of the Year awards from several. Since its release, it has received ports to many different gaming platforms. An enhanced version of the game was released on mobile platforms in 2011 for the game's 10th anniversary, and a further enhanced version for the 20th anniversary was released in 2021. The game was followed by 2002's Grand Theft Auto Vice City, World 2 prequels, Grand Theft Auto Advance and Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories were released in 2004 and 2005, respectively. On to the next Grand Theft Auto GTA Vice City. originally meant to be an add-on pack to GTA 3, became big and became its own game, released in 2002. Grand Theft Auto Vice City is a 2000 action-adventure game developed by Rockstar North and published by Rockstar Games. It is the fourth main entry in the Grand Theft Auto series, following 2001's Grand Theft Auto 3, and the sixth installment overall, set in 1986 within the fictional Vice City, based on Miami and Miami Beach. The single-player story follows mobster Tommy Vercetti rise to power. After being released from prison and becoming caught up in an ambushed drug deal, while seeking out those responsible, he gradually builds a criminal empire. By seizing power from other criminal organizations in the city, the game is played from a third-person perspective, and its world is navigated on foot or by vehicle. The open-world design lets the player freely roam Vice City, consisting of two main islands. The game's plot is based on multiple real-world people and events in Miami, such as Cubans, Haitians, and biker gangs, the 1980s crack epidemic, the mafioso drug lords of Miami, and the dominance of glam metal. The game was also influenced by the films and television of the era, most notably Scarface and Miami Vice. Much of the development work constituted creating the game world to fit the inspiration and time period. The development team conducted extensive field research in Miami while creating the world. Grand Theft Auto Vice City was released in October 2000 for the PlayStation 2, in May 2003 for Windows, and in October 2003 for the Xbox. Upon its release, Vice City received critical acclaim, with praise particularly directed at its music, gameplay, story, and open-world design. However, the game also generated controversy over its depiction of violence and racial groups, sparking lawsuits and protests. Vice City became the best-selling video game of 2002 and has sold over 17.5 million copies. Considered one of the most significant titles of the sixth generation of video games, and one of the greatest video games ever made. It won numerous year-end accolades, including Game of the Year awards from several gaming publications. Since its release, the game has received numerous ports to many gaming platforms. An enhanced version was released for mobile platforms in 2012 for the game's 10th anniversary, and a further enhanced version was released in 2021. Its successor, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, was released in October 2006. On to the next Grand Theft Auto game is GTA Advanced, released in October 2004 for the Game Boy Advance. Grand Theft Auto Advance, also marketed as Grand Theft Auto, is a 2004 action-adventure game developed by Digital Eclipse and published by Rockstar Games. The eighth installment in the Grand Theft Auto series. It was released for the Game Boy Advance in October 2004. The game takes place in Liberty City, a fictional parody of New York City. The same setting used for Grand Theft Auto 3, to which it serves as a prequel. The story, set 1 year before Grand Theft Auto 3, follows small-time criminal Mike's quest for revenge for his partner's supposed death, which leads him to become entangled in a world of organized crime, gang warfare, and corruption. The game is played from a top-down perspective, similar to the style used in Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto 2. Despite this, it is part of the series' 3D universe canon, sharing continuity with the three-dimensional games of the franchise. It also features most gameplay elements of the 3D Grand Theft Auto games, including the vehicle-based side missions, most weapons, the use of safe houses, and the style of the heads-up display. The game received mixed reviews from critics and was followed by Grand Theft Auto in October, Liberty City Stories, for the another Grand Theft Auto 3 prequel. In 2005, Grand Theft Auto Advance is an action-adventure game set in an open-world environment and played from a top-down perspective. The game had to be adapted to the Game Boy Advance's hardware limitations. As a result, it does not have animated cutscenes, nor does it have Grand Theft Auto 3's much-lauded pedestrian dialogue. All cutscenes are text-only, with hand-drawn pictures of the characters' faces, with a thematic backdrop behind. The art style is consistent with that used for the cover and loading art of the 3's dimensional releases in the series, replacing the pedestrian dialogue. Some soundbites taken from Grand Theft Auto 3 are played. When the player hits someone's car, short police radio voiceovers will announce the player's location and vehicle type. When the player commits a crime, the game does not feature radio channels, like the Game Boy Color ports of Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto 2. Each car has one fixed tune that is constantly repeated and cannot be changed. These include parts of some familiar Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto 2, and Grand Theft Auto 3 tunes in instrumental versions. Despite this, billboards for the radio stations featured in Grand Theft Auto 3 can be seen throughout Liberty City. The game is set in 2000 within Liberty City, the same setting used in Grand Theft Auto 3, as the setting had to be recreated for the Game Boy Advance. Much of it was noticeably changed in its conversion, including elements that were impossible to interpret from the game's top-view perspective. Up next, one of the best Grand Theft Autos is GTA San Andreas, released on the 26th of October 2004. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, also referred to as GTA San Andreas, GTA SAR, or simply San Andreas, is a Rockstar North-developed video game released by Rockstar Games, and is the 7th title in the Grand Theft Auto series and the 3rd game in the 3D universe of the series. It is the sequel to Grand Theft Auto Vice City and the prequel to Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories and Grand Theft Auto 3. It was released on the same date as Grand Theft Auto Advance. GTA San Andreas is set in the fictional state of San Andreas, by far the largest and most complex playing field of any 3D universe game. San Andreas consists of 3 fully realized cities, Los Santos, San Fierro and Las Venturas, and includes vast expanses of countryside, forests, a desert, and even a mountain and many hills. The game is centered around the return of Carl Johnson, also known as CJ, to his gang, the Grove Street families, and their subsequent return to power. On November 11, 2021, the game was re-released on 8th and 9th generation consoles, in honor of Grand Theft Auto 3's 20-year anniversary, under the title Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The definitive edition, included in the Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition bundle. San Andreas is 6 by 6 kilometers, or 36 million square meters, in size. That's just the outside map, and doesn't include the interior locations in the game, of which there are many. On top of that, the player is not restricted to the populated area of the map. The player can take a boat or plane and travel in any direction as far as he or she may want. However, at the beginning of the game, the player can only roam Los Santos if you go outside. You receive an automatic 4-star wanted level. Pedestrians in the game were made to be more reactive to the player's actions, and even the appearance they choose for CJ. Producer Dan Houser, on the subject of giving CJ stupid hair, commented that if you've got a stupid haircut, people will say, "You look stupid." GTA San Andreas was the first GTA game to implement swimming, which would also be used in a few missions. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is similarly structured to the previous 2 games in the series. The core gameplay consists of elements of third-person shooter and a driving game, affording the player a large, open environment in which to move around on foot. The player's character is capable of walking, running, swimming. The first Grand Theft Auto game, which diving and swimming without drowning is possible. Limited climbing and jumping, as well as using weapons and various forms of hand-to-hand combat. Players can operate a variety of vehicles, including automobiles, boats, airplanes. The game had a lot of backlash due to a sexual minigame called Hot Coffee, where the player would engage in sexual activities with their girlfriend in-game. It was removed, but modders had access to it on the PC version of the game. The game was then pulled off shelves and rated to adults only on the 7th of July 2005. Leland Yee, the Speaker pro tempore of the California State Senate, issued a press release condemning the ES before not providing San Andreas with an AO rating for its violence and the explicit sexual activity in Hot Coffee minigame. GTA San Andreas was the best-selling game in 2004 for the PS2. On to the next Grand Theft Auto GTA Liberty City Stories. Released in 2005, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories is a 2005 action-adventure game developed in a collaboration between Rockstar Leeds and Rockstar North and published by Rockstar Games. The 9th installment in the Grand Theft Auto series. It was initially released as a PlayStation Portable exclusive in October 2005. A port for the PlayStation 2 was later released in June 2006. At the time of release, the recommended retail price of the PS2 port was around half the price of the PSP version. Because the PS2 version does not feature the custom soundtrack ripping capability of the PSP version, ports for iOS, Android and Fire OS devices were also released in December 2015, February 2016, and March 2016, respectively. The game is the first 3D title in the series to be released for handheld devices and acts as a prequel to 2001's Grand Theft Auto 3, using the same setting of Liberty City, a fictional parody of New York City. The single-player story, set in 1998, follows mobster Tony Cipriano, a character first introduced in Grand Theft Auto 3, and his efforts to rise through the ranks of the Leone crime family, while slowly becoming involved in a power struggle among the city's various mafia organizations. The PSP version of the game also includes a multiplayer mode through a wireless ad network, which allows up to 6 players to engage in several different game modes. Liberty City Stories received generally positive reviews from critics and was a commercial success, selling over 8 million copies as of March 2008 and becoming the best-selling PSP game of all time. It was followed in October 2006 by Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, a prequel to 2002's Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories is an action-adventure game set in an open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective. Liberty City's layout is largely similar to Grand Theft Auto 3, but it also incorporates elements found in Grand Theft Auto 3's successors, such as more indoor environments, clothing changes, and motorcycles, though flyable aeroplanes and helicopters are available in Vice City and San Andreas. Flyable aeroplanes cannot be found in Liberty City Stories, while helicopters are only accessible through certain exploits. In keeping with recent Grand Theft Auto games, the player has more flexibility in terms of moving the camera around for viewing surroundings. Grand Theft Auto 3 is noticeably limited in that respect, in contrast to previous release in the 3D universe. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the Liberty City Stories protagonist, lacks the ability to climb and the ability to swim. Contact with deep bodies of water is instantly fatal. On to the next Grand Theft Auto game, GTA Vice City Stories. The last 3D game in the universe, Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, is a 2006 action-adventure game developed by Rockstar Leeds and Rockstar North, and published by Rockstar Games. It is the 10th installment in the Grand Theft Auto series. The game was initially released as a PlayStation Portable exclusive in October 2006. A PlayStation 2 port was released in March 2007, set within the fictional Vice City based on Miami in 1984. The game is a prequel to 2002's Grand Theft Auto Vice City, set in 1986, and follows the exploits of ex-soldier Victor Vic Vance, a minor character originally featured in said game. The story centers around Vic's attempts to build up a criminal empire alongside his brother Lance, with the initial intention of raising money for his sick brother Pete's medication. Vic comes into conflict with rival gangs, drug lords, and other enemies. In addition to the traditional gameplay elements and side missions of the series, the game features a unique empire building system, in which players must expand their criminal syndicate from the ground up by taking over businesses from rival organizations and completing missions specific for each of them to increase their income and unlock additional rewards, like its predecessor, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. The PSP version of the game includes a multiplayer mode through a wireless ad hoc network, which allows up to 6 players to engage in several different game modes. Vice City Stories received generally positive reviews from critics and has sold over 4.5 million copies as of March 2008, making it the second best-selling PSP game of all time. After Liberty City Stories, the next installment in the series was Grand Theft Auto 4, which released in April 2008. Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories is an action-adventure game set in an open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective. Structured similarly to other releases from the Grand Theft Auto series, the core gameplay consists of elements of a third-person shooter and a driving game, affording the player a large environment in which to move around. On foot, the player's character is capable of walking, running, swimming, jumping, as well as using weapons and basic hand-to-hand combat. The player can drive a variety of vehicles, including automobiles, boats, planes, helicopters, jet skis, and motorcycles. One of the key gameplay elements in Vice City Stories is empire building. New to the Grand Theft Auto series, it borrows a few ideas from Vice City's properties and San Andreas gang war systems. The hidden package system from previous Grand Theft Auto games returns in the form of 99 red balloons scattered around the city. This is a reference to Nina's 1984 hit 99 Love Balance, which was featured in Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Improvements to the graphics since the release of Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories include new animations, faster load times, a longer draw distance, reductions in clumping of pedestrians and vehicles, more complex explosions, and increases in the density of objects, vehicles, and non-player characters. Like its predecessor, the PSP version of Vice City Stories features a multiplayer mode for up to 6 players through Wi-Fi ad hoc mode local area. The game features 10 different modes of wireless multiplayer gaming, which incorporate the use of automobiles, aircraft, and water-based vehicles. On to the next Grand Theft Auto, the first HD game, TA4. Grand Theft Auto 4, also known as GTA IV or GTA 4, is the 11th title in the Grand Theft Auto series, and the first game in the HD universe of the series. The game was developed by Rockstar North and was published and released by Rockstar Games for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. Originally intended for a fourth quarter 2007 release, the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions were released worldwide to widespread play on April 29, 2008. GTA 4 has subsequently been awarded the Gaming World Record of the most successful entertainment launch of all time and has received numerous other awards and accolades. The PC version was released on December 3rd, 2008. GTA 4 and Grand Theft Auto. Episodes from Liberty City were released for Xbox One via backwards compatibility on February 9, 2017. The very first dialogue by Niko, in the very first trailer for the game, sets up the first notable immigrant protagonist, Niko Bellic, to enter the United States of America and make more critical analysis of American culture. Previous main characters have done. The game is played from a third-person perspective, and its world is navigated on foot or by vehicle. Throughout the single-player mode, players control Niko Bellic. An online multiplayer mode is also included with the game, allowing up to 32 players to engage in both cooperative and competitive gameplay in a recreation of the single-player setting. Two expansion packs were later released for the game, The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony, which both feature new plots that are interconnected with the main Grand Theft Auto 4 storyline and follow new protagonists. Development of Grand Theft Auto 4 began soon after the release of San Andreas and was shared between many of Rockstar's studios worldwide. The game introduced a shift to a more realistic and detailed style and tone for the series. Unlike previous entries, Grand Theft Auto 4 lacked a strong cinematic influence, as the team attempted an original approach to the story as part of their research for the open world. The development team conducted extensive field research in New York, capturing over 100,000 photographs and several hours of video. The developers considered the world to be the most important element of the game, though not the largest map in the series. They considered it comparable in scope due to its verticality and level of detail. The budget climbed to over $100 million United States dollars, making it one of the most expensive video games to develop. Grand Theft Auto 4 broke industry sales records and became the fastest-selling entertainment product in history at the time, earning $310 million United States dollars in its first day and $500 million United States dollars in its first week. Considered one of the most significant titles of the seventh generation of video games, and by many critics as one of the greatest video games of all time. It won year-end accolades, including Game of the Year awards from several gaming publications. It is among the best-selling video games, with over 25 million copies sold by 2013. On to the next GTA game, GTA The Lost and Damned, the add-on pack to GTA Thor, which follows the main protagonist Johnny Klevitz and his Lost MC biker club gang. Grand Theft Auto 4, The Lost and Damned, is the first of two episodic expansion packs of the 2008 video game Grand Theft Auto 4, developed by Rockstar North and published by Rockstar Games. The game was released individually for the Xbox 360 on the 17th of February 2009 and as part of the disc-based package Grand Theft Auto. Episodes from Liberty City for PlayStation 3 and Windows on the 13th of April 2010. The package also includes the second Grand Theft Auto 4 expansion, The Ballad of Gay Tony, and does not require the base game to be played. Microsoft added episodes from Liberty City to its backwards compatibility list for Xbox One platforms in February 2017, set concurrently with the events of Grand Theft Auto 4 and The Ballad of Gay Tony. The Lost and Damned follows the exploits of Johnny Klevitz, Vice President of the Liberty City chapter of The Lost MC, a motorcycle club which, along with himself, feature in a number of missions in both games. The main storyline of the episode focuses on Johnny's efforts to keep the chapter running while dealing with internal conflicts, gang warfare, drug running, and various enemies. The episode portrays Johnny's perspective, the storylines of the Blood Diamonds and Heroin, which are depicted from the other protagonists' perspectives in Grand Theft Auto 4 and The Ballad of Gay Tony. The game received highly positive reviews upon release and is retrospectively considered to be among the best downloadable content packs on record. On to the next GTA game is GTA Chinatown Wars. Released in March 2009, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars is a 2009 action-adventure game developed by Rockstar Leeds in conjunction with Rockstar North and published by Rockstar Games. The game was released for the Nintendo DS in March 2009, PlayStation Portable in October 2009, iOS in January 2010, and Android and Fire OS devices in December 2014. It is the 13th game in the Grand Theft Auto series and a follow-up to Grand Theft Auto 4, and is the first installment to be released for handheld consoles since 2006's Vice City Stories. Set within modern-day Liberty City, a fictional satire of New York City, the single-player story follows young Triad member Hwang Lee and his efforts to recover a sword gifted by his late father after it is stolen from him, while inadvertently becoming caught in a power struggle amongst Liberty City's triads. The game was fundamentally designed for players to have notable interactions with objects on the DS and smartphone systems via their touchscreen controls, while offering unique elements of gameplay not found in other entries within the Grand Theft Auto series. The most notable element, the ability to buy drugs from suppliers and sell them to dealers to make money, proved controversial following the game's release. Despite this, the game received critical. On to the next GTA, also an add-on pack to GTA 4. It is GTA The Ballad of Gay Tony, released on the 29th of October 2009 for the Xbox 360. It follows the protagonist Luis Lopez and his boss Gay Tony. The game takes place in 2008 during GTA 4 and GTA The Lost. And Damn the add-on has new weapons and parachutes. The game released on the 13th of April 2010 for PC and PS3 as part of a standalone disc-based package titled Grand Theft Auto. Episodes from Liberty City. Microsoft added this to their backwards compatibility list in February 2017. Luis Fernando Lopez, a Dominican-American former drug dealer turned bodyguard and best friend of Anthony Gay Tony Prince, a nightclub magnate and high-status socialite in Liberty City. The main storyline of the episode focuses on Luis' efforts to help Tony overcome various problems, including. The game received largely positive reviews from critics and is retrospectively considered to be among the best downloadable content packs of all time. Grand Theft Auto The Ballad of Gay Tony is an action-adventure game set in the open-world environment of Liberty City. It features similar gameplay and the same setting as Grand Theft Auto 4. The player can redo missions to improve their score. The player also has new activities, side jobs, vehicles, and weapons. Luis may call on his friends, Armando and Henrique, to use their special abilities. Armando can sell weapons to Luis, while Henrique can supply him a vehicle. Luis can also take them on friend activities, a notable addition. Previously introduced in Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars is a scoring system for missions. The score has no effect, but gauges the player's overall performance in a mission, as well as unique goals they accomplished. Lastly, we have Grand Theft Auto 5, the 7th main entry in the series, following 2008's Grand Theft Auto 4, and the 15th installment overall, set within the fictional state of San Andreas, based on Southern California. The single-player story follows three protagonists: retired bank robber Michael D. Santa, street gangster Franklin Clinton, and drug dealer and gunrunner Trevor Phillips, and their attempts to commit heists while under pressure from a corrupt government agency and powerful criminals. The open-world design lets players freely roam San Andreas' open countryside and the fictional city of Los Santos, based on Los Angeles. The game is played from either a third-person or first-person perspective, and its world is navigated on foot and by vehicle. Players control the three lead protagonists throughout single player and switch among them, both during and outside missions. The story is centered on the heist sequences, and many missions involve shooting and driving gameplay. A wanted system governs the aggression of law enforcement response to players who commit crimes. Grand Theft Auto Online. The game's online multiplayer mode lets up to 30 players engage in a variety of different cooperative and competitive games. The game's development began around the time of Grand Theft Auto V's release and was shared between many of Rockstar's studios worldwide. The development team drew influence from any of their previous projects, such as Red Dead Redemption and Max Payne 3. Grand Theft Auto 5 was originally released on the 17th of September 2013. Then for the PS4 and Xbox One in the 18th of November 2014, PC on the 14th of April 2015, and PS5, Xbox Series X on March 15th, 2022. Well, anyway, thank you guys for tuning in on the history of Grand Theft Auto. Remember to like and subscribe, as these videos take long. Keep safe guys. Good